Oh yeah, we live. We here. Everybody, come on in here. Y'all knew I was gonna cover this. Y'all knew I was gonna talk about this one. I give y'all a quick 5 seconds. Come on in. Let's talk. We got some topics to cover. We got some paperwork to bring up. I really got some areas that we need to discuss towards the second half of the stream. But come on in. Come on in. Come on in. From where the hammers rung, cameras never come. You and your mans and every y'all see me tweeting my little Jay-Z lyrics yesterday, man? Was that like a premonition, man? You know what I'm saying? But let's be clear. All jokes aside, let's be serious. Um, y'all will never ever see me on my academics or moral type shit. And no disrespect to Maul. Shout out to Maul. But y'all will never see me in that bag. If you did it, you did it. And if you did it, it's fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Like Jay my goat, but I don't know the man personally. I don't want to meet him. I don't want to be around them. I'm not trying to be nobody's friends. I'm a fan of people from the outside looking in. I'm a fan of what you deliver to hip hop. I'm a fan of music. I'm a fan of your movies, maybe. But if you's a fuck nigga, you's a fuck nigga. And then at that point, it's chopped like, go ahead and go over there. I'm cool. So y'all will never, ever get that from me. Will you get little biases here and there? Like, and I'll be right up front and clear about them. Like, man, this is my goat, man. Damn, I hope this ain't true. But when the news first broke, y'all seen me how it's like, fuck, man, damn, Jay, they got Jay wrapped up in some shit. All right, let's cover it. And then as we start to get the details, as we start to go over the case, as we start to learn some of the background, when the John or the Jane Doe alleged victim did that interview on NBC, and then we continue to get the Alex Spiro details when he did his press conference breaking down the this is impossible, this can't happen. Then we got more paperwork that we brought up here, and we brought up pictures and videos from the actual, the night in question. And it's just like, this is some disgusting shit. And Tony Busby is a topic within itself. We're gonna talk about him. But when we saw, this is a guy that had the 1-800, hotline up, and this looks like extortion and money grab attempts. And it was just very tough for a lot of people. Unless you anti Jay-Z, unless you on your Jaguar right shit, unless you anti Jay-Z, it was very hard to say like, oh no, he did this shit. You was either like leaning towards this seems like some bullshit, or you was standing in the middle a little bit. And either one is cool. You know what I mean? But I think this is a big win for the hip hop community. Oh yeah, we're gonna slow walk. I'm not even playing the video yet. We'll get there. This is a big win for the hip hop community. At the end of the day, are our goats, our highly prestigious black figures in the hip hop culture that have done a priceless un you can't redo what they've added, what they've created, what they've given us. And if they fly right a majority of the time, and when I say fly right, I'm not like some of these guys' business tactics and some of the things that they've done or the friendships they may have crushed. They're not clean, they're not perfect, they're not angels, right? But as far as just their contributions, and as long as you don't cross certain lines of no return, i.e. allegations like this, right? Or you don't kill somebody, or you don't do something that's unjust, or disgusting, then we need to support those people, and to a degree we need to protect them. Once upon a time, we should protect Kanye West. Once upon a time, we should protect Diddy. Once upon a time, Jay-Z, the Beyoncés of the world, the Rihannas of the world. These are people that do a lot for us, directly and indirectly. And if you see the bigger picture, you realize that Jay-Z having this mud, this dirt dismissed is a win for hip hop. Like, look at what just happened with the Super Bowl, the biggest viewed or the highest viewed Super Bowl in halftime show in Super Bowl history, right? And what was displayed up there? The revolution was televised, right? That's a beautiful thing. The Jay-Z's of the world are the people that picked Kendrick Lamar to be there and to represent us in that moment. And when I say us, definitely I'm talking about black culture and us as black people, but also hip hop culture, which involves the rest of us. So if you're in the hip hop culture and you are a genuine hip hop culture supporter, you're one of us. You're one of us. And we need these our figures, our power players, our master P's of the world. Our I can keep going. We need these people to remain successful, to remain in powerful positions, to be able to push the button for us, to be able to continue to put hip hop in these places that it fucking deserves to be. And I'm going to talk to some of y'all about, I'm going to ask some of y'all the question of why did y'all want Jay-Z to be guilty? But let's just drop the news first and foremost before we get to the paperwork.
Be right back in 60 seconds. Late breaking news about the lawsuit against Jay-Z. Just in, the case has been voluntarily dismissed. Now to breaking news in the high-profile sexual assault lawsuit against music mogul Jay-Z and Sean Diddy Combs. Chloe Malas joins us now with the latest. Chloe, what have we learned?
Lester, just moments ago, a lawsuit against Sean Carter, better known as Jay-Z, accusing him of raping a 13-year-old girl in 2000 after the MTV Video Music Awards has been dismissed by her attorney, Tony Busby. Jay-Z saying in a statement to NBC News, "The trauma that my wife, my children, loved ones, and I have endured can never be dismissed." NBC News was first to report the civil suit that was filed in December and exclusively sat down with the accuser. We subsequently reported inconsistencies in her account, which she stood by at the time. Sean Diddy Combs was also accused of sexual assault in the suit, and tonight saying we will continue to fight these baseless claims. Lester?
All right, Chloe, thanks. We're back in a moment with the human cost of cutting foreign aid.
What? Hey, NBC, first question. A 20-second segment? That's it? Oh yeah, so it's this mission came out, blah blah blah. All right, now back on to some other. That's all y'all gonna do for the homie Jay? Yeah. Well, I guess we could lay off of NBC because they are the ones that put that accuser in an interview that I guess was a big piece of what Alex Spiro and Jay-Z's legal team were able to use. But you don't know how that interview would have went, right? What if it went again? NBC, like now that I think about it, are y'all supportive of hip hop? I don't like how short that little clip was. It's like people that'll do hour-long and 50 videos worth of like, hey, accusations, essay this and all that, and Jay-Z and Diddy, hey, hip-hop culture. And then when it gets dismissed, it's like, oh, yeah, by the way, it was dismissed. But anyway, on to other news. Huh? It's cool. Just want to point that out. But let's pull up the paperwork real quick, people. Let's make it all the way official. And I need the small spot for this. So, United States District Court, Southern District of New York, Jane Doe, she was never identified. And for all we know, that there's different reasons that probably push towards this dismissal. Not just the frivolous nature of it, and not just the fact that many of us see all the details and feel like it's bullshit, and also not just the fact that we feel like all these lies and what you was going to have to go through and how much money. These are all pieces in moving towards a dismissal, but still Jane Doe. That eventually was going to be brought to the table with full force. And we read that in previous paperwork. The person has to think about that too. I have to live my life. Once this goes public and once my first and last name and once my face goes, I have to live the rest of my life in that light of the person that is accusing Jay-Z of this. And if it was true, so what? Stand up and it is what it is. But they were applying pressure to have this person revealed for a reason, because that within itself was a court tactic, right? When you can go after things like financial records, when you can go after things that are like private, things that are supposed to be kept in the dark, people's names, people's identities. These are things that are preferable to a defense, to put pressure on all these different areas. And even the closeout still has it as Jane Doe. Like, nope, I'm going to walk my ass off into the shadows. But as the plaintiff against Sean Combs, Daddy's House, et cetera, yada, 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 Jay-Z and all that, you see on the side, it says notice of voluntary dismissal pursuant to Rule 41A, 1AI of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure. Okay. This is a short doc, people. Pursuant to Rule 41A1AI of Federal Rules of Civil Procedure, Plaintiff Jane Doe, by and through her undersigned counsel, hereby gives notice that the above captioned action is voluntarily dismissed with prejudice. Counsel for plaintiff have discussed this matter with counsel for each defendant who acknowledged and consent to this submission. This was dated yesterday, Valentine's Day, Friday, February 14th. It is signed by Curious Law, whoever this person is that was also a part of the case. And here we also have the Tony Busby Law Firm, aka Anthony G. Busby, who's also at the bottom of this paperwork as well. Okay. So here's one thing to make sure that we bring up. Let's not act like lawyers, but let's continue to educate ourselves. Why not? And I had to double check it just to make sure I had a full understanding of my damn self. When the piece says dismissed with prejudice, what does that mean, people, from a legality standpoint? Dismissed with prejudice in legal terms means that a case has been permanently dismissed and the plaintiff cannot refile the same claim again in court. Essentially, the case is over and done with, barring any successful appeals to a higher court. Key points about dismissal with prejudice: the finality of it. Once a case is dismissed with prejudice, it cannot be brought back to the same court on the same grounds. No refiling. The plaintiff is barred from filing a new lawsuit based on the same claims against the defendant. Contrast without prejudice. If a case is dismissed without prejudice, the plaintiff can refile the same claim later if needed. So that's off the table. And I assume if you're Jay-Z, if you're Jay-Z's family, if you're Jay-Z's legal team, if you're Alex Spiro, you don't just want a dismissal. We don't just want today. We need tomorrow. We need tomorrow. We need to approach this in a way where the Tony Busbys of the world don't think that they could take this person and come back and remold it and go try to get some additional little fake details or create a house over there that got the U-shaped driveway or whatever, and then come back and say, hey, we want to reopen this. You know, it's time to get this money now. We got more for you. No, fuck you. We fought. We went to war. You got knocked out in the second round. Don't try to go retrain and come back with some more people and some new shit. No, we did this already. Get out of here. And I think that's important. You don't just worry about the dismissal. Once again, the tomorrow matters. Okay. Now let's get into this next topic. I do have one more thing I'm going to bring up here. It's going to be related to Tony Busby. I'll get there after this point. Let's get to this question. You saw how I opened up the stream about, you know, every once in a while, y'all see me get into these rants of trying to look at the broader picture, the bigger picture at times, right? You know, this is bigger than Nino Brown type of shit. And I asked that question. I said, why did some of y'all want Jay-Z to be guilty? Now, let's add context to that. Again, we ain't protecting nobody that puts their hand or violates children. We ain't protecting nobody. It doesn't matter who you are. You violate a child, you are out of here. You're not to be protected. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care how many albums you drop. I don't care how many #1 hits you have. Fuck you. Okay? Let's be clear. But once we got up to a certain point and we saw the things that we were seeing, I'm not saying everybody in the chat, I'm not saying everybody that's going to watch this video, but if you are one of those people, I'm really curious, and I'm not trying to get at you. It's a real question. Why did you want Jay-Z to be guilty? Why would you sit so adamantly in something that looks false and just have a personal disdain towards the situation, saying, guilty? Like, why are you that person? I'm talking to you. If the shoe fits, I'm talking to you. Do you not look at this and say, like, damn, we go through things where they take down our greats? I don't gotta go to the Malcolm X's of the world and watch our greats get assassinated. Some of that was symbolized to a degree, they say, even in the halftime show. But like, our greats are important, people. God forbid if Jay-Z passed away tomorrow, right? Do you understand the level of like memorializing that he would deserve and the way his name would carry through history? right? And he's not the only one. This isn't just about Jay. Once again, bigger than Nino Brown, people. We gotta stop looking at people's misfortunes only for our levels of entertainment. That's why I try to be careful at times. Like, I'll be laughing on yesterday's stream about some of 50 Cent's Instagram, and then I'll get to the Irv Gotti shit, and it's like, all right, stop laughing. Am I the biggest Irv Gotti fan? No, but the man passed away, so rest in peace. It's we gotta ground ourselves sometimes. And this accusation for what Jay-Z represents, especially in hip hop, and what he continues to do inside and outside of hip hop, we don't want those people in these situations. Unless they really, I mean, if they really did it, then fuck them. But we don't want these our goats in these situations. Right? Truth be told, Diddy being in the situation that he's in sucks for us as far as what he would have been representing if he just walked off into the Hall of Fame one day and his career, you know what I'm saying? We would rather that. You think I want to wake up to a news headline that Michael Jordan got caught up in some hotel room with a minor? No, look at the legacy of Michael Jordan. He is the moment something like that happens, we can't call MJ the GOAT like that anymore. It changes the history of some of these people. Your children's children will read books about some of these people. And hopefully it's going to be in a good light. Like, Diddy's name is tarnished and fucked forever throughout history. Your children's children will read about Diddy, and one of the first things that will come up is the reasons why he's sitting in jail right now. Not the hits, not bringing us Biggie, not being one of the first biggest moguls from the East Coast to kill the way that he did, not to rock and get into liquor. Those won't be the big discussion points. It's not good. It's not good. It's fucked up. It's one of our greatest that, and not all of our greats will make it to that type of finish line because we're all human. But I just want to offer back that perspective. Like, when some of y'all look in the mirror, you know, you got to ask yourself, like, is it just like people's misfortunes really entertain me at that type of level? Because you have these crab in a barrel type of people where, you know, when people go through it, they do get a spark from it. Like, oh, look at him getting fucked up. And like, it's entertainment for a lot of people, but the deeper situation is something that we can't lose track of. I'm not going to try to get too message for y'all this morning on that, but just ask yourself, people. Tony Busby, let's talk. We ain't done. Tony Busby, we ain't done with you. May I remind you, folks, of Jay-Z's initial statement when this came about? Okay, let's read it. Let's remind ourselves. My lawyer received a blackmail attempt called a demand letter from a lawyer named Tony Busby. What he had calculated was the nature of these allegations, and the public scrutiny would make me want to settle. No, sir, it had the opposite effect. It made me want to expose you for the fraud you are in a very public fashion. So no, I will not give you one red penny. These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree? Huh? These alleged victims would deserve real justice if that were the case. This lawyer, who I have done a bit of research on, seems to have a pattern of these type of theatrics. I have no idea how you have come to be such a deplorable human being, Mr. Busby, but I promise you I have seen your kind many times over. I'm more than prepared to deal with your type. You claim to be a Marine. Marines are known for their valor. You have neither honor nor dignity. My only heartbreak is for my family, my wife, and I will have to sit our children down, one of whom is at the age where her friends will surely see the press and ask questions about the nature of these claims. and explain the cruelty and greed of people. I mourn yet another loss of innocence. Children should not have to endure such at their young age. It is unfair to have to try to understand inexplicable degrees of malice meant to destroy families and human spirit. My heart and support goes out to true victims in the world who have to watch how their life story is dressed in costume for profitability by this ambulance chaser in a cheap suit. Damn, why you gotta talk about his clothes? You have made a terrible error in judgment, thinking that all celebrities are the same. I'm not from your world. I'm a young man who made it out of the projects of Brooklyn. We don't play these type of games. We have very strict codes and honor. We protect children. You seem to exploit people for personal gain. Only your network of conspiracy theorists, fake physics will believe the idiotic claims you have levied against me that, if not for the seriousness surrounding harm to kids, would be laughable. I look forward to showing you just how different I am. Ah, I loved it then, and I love it now. I love this statement back then, and I love it now. Tony Busby, you deserve all you have coming to you from Jay-Z, Jay-Z's legal team, or anybody else. How many times have y'all heard me say on stream? Frivolous lawsuits are for the leeches and the cowards of the world. And it's like, whether you're a Marine, whether you think you're a stand-up man, whether you think you're a real man, women as well, whether you think you're genuine, anything that you claim to be that would be reflective of sturdy. When you look in the mirror for the rest of your life, you have to see a coward. Sucks, don't it? Paint whatever pictures you want, or put whatever mask on that you need to wear. Show people whatever side that they'll accept you to falsely be. But the truth of the matter is, when you look in the mirror, you're a fucking coward. You're a fucking coward. And you gotta live like that. It sucks. It sucks. People like me can see it, and that burn. That's why the me's of the world, you don't like me. The me's like, fuck, this motherfucker can read the Matrix. Damn it. I want to stay hidden and he could see it. You damn right I see it. Coward, 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 fucking coward. Yo, Tony, he deserves everything. Everything he's got coming to him. And when I read that statement, you don't forget, just because you don't celebrate just because this got dismissed without prejudice. You want to know why you don't celebrate? Because you feel like that was the deserving part, right? Like, if I earn $10 and then you pay me my $10, and then I have my $10 in my hand, I put it on the table, I turn around, the $10 is gone, I turn back around, and I start going through all this investigation trying to figure out where my money is. And somebody steps up a week later and says, yo, I'm the one that took it. And he gives me back my $10, right? We're not talking about it. He didn't give me back no 11 or 12, like interest or nothing like that. He gave me back what I deserved, $10, what I already earned, what was already mine. I'm not to celebrate that I got my $10 back. Feels good for the moment. Little moment of gratification. Ah, yes, I got it back. But I was supposed to have it the whole time. You get it? You get it? So the celebration factor is just like, okay, now for all the Jaguar rights of the world and all the people that hate me or the people that wanted to see me fall, y'all could go feel how y'all feel now that it's dismissed. Okay, so y'all go over there. But this isn't over. I still feel a way. I was robbed of my dignity for that time window. My children, I had to sit down and talk to. I was disgraced for a time period. I was fucked over. I was lied on. I was cheated on. The moment a man of integrity, a father, interjects his children in a situation from an emotional standpoint, like if it wasn't for these kids and my codes and my family, I would be laughing at this shit. Boy, you got to pay for that too. You got to pay for that too. And for all you people out there that may have been looking towards Jay-Z's downfall behind this particular situation, I hope you can at least apply the same energy to watching the downfall of somebody like a Tony Busby behind what looks to be a disgusting, frivolous suit and money grab. With this nature of allegations on one of our greats that is supposed to be looked at in a high regard, hopefully, if he does something, he does something. But if it's not true, to put that on somebody, keep that same energy towards Tony Busby now. All right? Because those type of people need an example made of them so that they don't run around doing this to people. Actually, let me rephrase that. Doing this to innocent people. Hang out in the chat, man. I was about to get out of here before I get too upset. Let me calm down. Shout out to the members in the building, man. What's good, homie? I'll be seeing you in the comments too, man. I appreciate you, G. We got more coming up. I think either Monday or Tuesday. I don't know if courts are closed for the holiday or for the, on Monday. But ASAP Rocky's case could be closing down or be having its judgment, and we'll be here for people. We'll see how that works out. There was some fireworks in the court recently between the defense attorney and the prosecution. They was getting at each other, but I see Brooklyn. Facts. Appreciate you. What do you got here for me? Let's ask the real questions. Why was Rihanna at a meeting with Jay-Z and other grown men at 3 a.m.? What situation is this? I don't know. It sounds like a bunch of adults together at 3 a.m. I don't know. I don't know what this is. Come on, man. If you got a real question, give me a real question. Like you got to at least reword that. Busby needs to be made an example of. Exactly. What is this? Jay-Z is a predator? Where's the proof? Right. All right. Let me ask this question since we're still here. Is this a win for Diddy? I didn't mean to laugh at that. I got my answer. Was this a win for Chad? Is this a win for Diddy? It's so wild that I bet you a majority of the headlines that go around the internet today will say that Jay-Z's case was dismissed. Even my title doesn't have Diddy in the title. And Diddy was involved in the case. The allegations was that it was Jay-Z, Diddy, and an unnamed female celebrity that were in the room, right? And all the titles, included mine, won't even have Diddy in it. That's crazy. That's fucking nuts. But let me see what y'all are saying. Feeler says, hell yeah. Rebel says no. Fred says yes. For some reason, people love to see the downfall of a black man, successful or not, and it'd be mostly black people. Why do you think that is? I can get to this in a second. Bear with me, studio. Give me a second. But let's finish off that first piece. Me personally, I don't think that this is a win for Diddy. The first reason is for what I just said. People already in their minds separated them two people within this whole case. The focus kind of was like on Jay-Z. Diddy already got his own stuff going on. He might have over 100 fucking allegations on him at this point from different lawsuits and all type. I can't keep up. None of us can keep up. It's been every day for months. Something new is coming up on Diddy. I don't know how much it is. There's got to be a stat counter on him at this point. Jay-Z, it was this one situation, right? Diddy's involved in it. He was involved in the civil case, but in the accusation, but people pretty much separated them. Like, let's see what's going to happen with Jay-Z. And Jay-Z's also free. Diddy's sitting up right now, right? So I don't think that this is a win for Diddy. I don't. Not just because those two guys were looked at as separated in this case, but because Diddy just got a mountain of allegations on him. It's like if he goes to trial this year and fights the allegations that are in his paperwork, not all the civil stuff that he's got on top of him. The civil stuff is different, right? If he goes to court and he fights all these allegations, the conspiracy or the the sex trafficking and all of that type of stuff and the arson. And if he beats those, and he's been having some small wins, like for example, the sex tapes that were reviewed that had Cassie in them, and it looked like she was a consenting adult in some of these situations, not necessarily a prisoner of freak offs, right? So, if he goes to trial and he beats those things that's in his actual um paperwork, and he's actually being accused of, he could come out and then for years have to just deal with 80 civil suits, file bankruptcy and auction this off and sell this or whatever, and close this case and fight this one and deal with this and leave that. Like, he could literally just be sitting there for the rest of his life fighting civil suits, right? But he'll be a free man. He'll be free, right? So he's got his own world of things to deal with. Jay-Z had a very strong defense for this one situation. So this does not help Diddy, because people aren't running around saying, yo, Diddy is wild that this whole thing that's on top of your case is about this young girl that allegedly was art after an award show. No, they're talking about Cassie. They're talking about sex trafficking. They're talking about arson. They're talking about all these other 80 people. Like, nobody's focused on that when it comes to Diddy. He's got so much other shit on him. So this does not help Diddy. I'm sure his lawyer would love to say, you see these 100 allegations and civil suits we got on us? This one over here, this one case over here that also involved Jay-Z was dropped. So that means some of these are false as well. Well, that's not how it goes. Every case is going to be looked at individually. That's just how it goes. So no, it doesn't help them. For some reason, people love to see the downfall of a black man, successful or not, and it be mostly black people. Why do you think that is? So let me clarify that last sentence right there. When you say it be mostly black people, that's a misconception. Historically, you can say everybody has wanted to see blacks fail in certain areas historically, right? So I think we say that real fast. We're trained to say it like it be your own people. It be our own people, but it also be other people as well. Historically, 100%. Let's never forget that. Let's never forget that. What we focus on is when it's like our own people. It's like the fact of cleaning up your own backyard, and we do have a lack of that. Cleaning up our own yard before you start talking about the man, right? You hear that all the time. The man is holding me back. The man is trying to fuck me over. The man. Before you focus on the man, or before you worry about the neighborhood over, like, your own backyard must be cleaned up first. This is why we always fight those type of narratives, like the moment a police officer kills us, it's outrage, it's riots, it's flipping over cars, it's smashing windows, it's setting fires, it's what I'm saying, it's the LA riots. But when we kill each other, where's the outrage? It's that narrative, right? So let's make sure that we broaden the reminders of that last sentence. But our people wanting to see our downfall, that was a topic that I did prior, where I just want people to look in the mirror if that shoe fits and tell yourself, like, damn, why do I want to see the downfall? Or ask yourself, why do I want to see the downfall of some of our greats? Because historically, they actually progress us as people. If some of our greats can deliver what they deliver over their lifetime, and then walk off into the Hall of Fame, and then eventually one day they pass away, and then their name lives on and their work lives on, and the benefits that they leave behind continues to carry forward through history and the next generations, that is a good thing, right? So why do we want to see some of our greats down and out, especially when it's undeserving? That's what somebody needs to look in the mirror and ask themselves. You'd be surprised how many people have self-hatred. Sometimes people have self-hatred because of their own failures, and then they project, right? Like, damn, I'm not where I want to be in life. So even subconsciously, like, I don't want to see other people there too long either. Like, you ever see how people have the winning factor, where it's just like, damn, we hate the Chiefs. All right, you've been winning too long. Let's somebody else do. But if they're winning, they're winning. If they're dominating, they're dominating. If they're good, they're good. Like, people don't even want you to sit in a throne for but so long. Like, somebody got to knock him out sooner or later. Shit, get him out of here. I'm tired of him. Think about it, right? It happens in sports. It happens in the real world. It happens everywhere. And sometimes we have to look in the mirror and question ourselves, like, yo, why do I think like that? Why do I want to see somebody fall that's winning? Let them fall on their own. Why do I want them to fall, though? You know what I'm saying? You got to ask yourself that. You know, I watch my sports announcers talk about that all the time. Is it that winning factor? People getting tired of you? You won the last two. Like, get out of here with this three-peat shit. That's a mental thing. It's a mental thing. You're tired of seeing someone win. That's included. So, but it's a deep-rooted conversation, and it's a stream within itself. Trust me. Appreciate you, skill. All right, I'm gonna get up out of here, man. It's official though. You know, we brought the paperwork. Case was dismissed, and I got some other topics that I need to get into. I need to get into Drake dissing all these people recently. I might even touch on his new album that just dropped, A Party Next Door. I'm halfway through it. So far it's decent. So far there's a couple songs on that I'm like, well, I'll rock with this, you know, but I gotta finish it. So I'll be back. You know, ain't no bias when it comes to rating music. I will never do that. I'm not them other niggas. Hopefully y'all continue to learn that. All right, I'm out of here. We'll be back ASAP.
Don't confuse silence with work ethic. I'm a boss, making decisions my first fetish. The verse cherished is perfect, that's a reverse blemish. I dropped it, connected the block, learn Tetris.
This is the Sorry True Podcast. Welcome to the house of and shout out to the members.
Without, I think you still got a gun. Come on!